morning, Floss Tube. It's Lisa here from the Shady Tree Stitches, and thank you for joining me. It is currently early in the morning on the day after Halloween, so I'd like to say happy Halloween to all the people on the other side of the planet who are currently still celebrating that holiday. For us here in Australia, it's not really a big deal. We do have a little bit of Americanization and media so that we do a little bit, but not much. So we had a pretty quiet night, and I was able to get a lot of stitching progress done on the current challenges that I'm participating in. Thank you for joining me. Sit back and relax. There's a lot of different projects to see today, some new starts, and I just wanted to sum it all up at the end of October before I start my November goals, and I'll be telling you what my November plans are a bit later in the video. All right, first up though, we're going to switch things around, and I have my special guest here, and she is really excited to be showing you her progress. So I'm just getting her to come over. She's done some work since last time. Come on, can you get in? There we go. All right, what would you like to tell the people? They were giving you very nice comments from last week about how well you were doing.
You
gotta look at the people.
Oh, I've done more of my stitching.
Can you remind them which piece you're doing?
I'm doing an Among Us Halloween one. And I've gotten this so far.
Can you hold it a bit closer so they can see? So how much of that have you actually done? Have you achieved a little goal?
No.
Yes, you have.
I didn't set any goals.
No, but haven't you outlined a whole person?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so there you go. So what are you going to plan to do today when you do some more stitching on it? You're going to work around the black, or are you going to colour in that person?
I'm going to colour in that person, and that person is the yellow one.
Cool. All right, well, thank you for joining us. You can run along, say bye to the people.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks for that. There you go. See ya. Take your stuff with you.
I will.
All right. So as for me, I have done a lot of different things this week. Just going to keep doing that for a minute. Lots of challenges and all the different groups. I didn't do the homework video this week, so you didn't get to see what my homework plans were. So I bye. So I will talk to you about what each thing was as far as the challenges. These are in not necessarily any particular order, other than sort of a bit illogical. So first up is the Daily 30 had the 30 minutes a day back, thank goodness. So I was able to do some work on my lovely linen and threads. And I'm working over here in this pink one. So I did all that pink one this week, and you can see we're getting close to the end. In fact, being the 1st of November, I need to go and look for the next one. I haven't finished October yet. That was because there was 2 weeks where I didn't have Daily 30. So I need to get onto this. I might actually stitch on it today and try and catch it up. So it's exciting to see how that's progressing. I only did 259 stitches on that, but that was just for the 30 minutes a day as it happened. Now I was working on, again, a mixture of new and old. So I'm going to start by showing you the new starts. So the first new start I have, I've got to work out what it is. Oh, this is actually the last one I had, but yes. Stitch in Time looks like this. So it's Heaven and Earth design, and as you know, I'm getting into them. And this Stitch in Time, I did 303 stitches on it because it was something that had a pattern that began with the letters of the word lost. So that is 303 stitches. And you can see I started here on the edge, little fly spots in black, and I'm actually going to do a Stitch in Time as extreme cross-country colour completion. So this project is only going to have black done on it until I finish all the black, and hopefully I'll enjoy doing that. It's a bit risky, but that's why I've got the gridded fabric, and I just keep cross-checking all the time. I started a second full coverage HAID. It looks like this. It's Randall Spangler's A Train of Dreams. Now this one I was able to stitch on because it has a crystal ball in it for Myth and Magical stitches, and then I think that's all I used it for. Now I started just in the top corner, and I just did a little bit of colour completion there, so not much to see. Also in black, that's just the way it is. The whole top of it is just black, so that's going to be really good down the track for some quick stitching. And the Trainer Dreams, I did 327 stitches. So that was my second full coverage start for the day, for the week. I also started one which is called the Friendship Sampler. And the Friendship Sampler I did because it reminded me of a loved one, a friend who taught me to stitch. So I did 301 stitches on this just to get it started, and there it is. So you can see I've got the sort of pale blue part of the border and a bit more here. That blue will pop a bit more when the rest of the colours go on. And this is on a piece of Paddock Lane dyed linen, so it's going to look really, really lovely, I think. So there's that one. I also started, we have a Crystal Academy spell sling happening this weekend, and I had to find things to stitch on that were fairly fast to get lots of stitches done. I worked my butt off last night and I got my team ahead, and then basically by the time I've woken up this morning we're back behind again. Thanks so much. So I will get stitching after the video when I finish doing what I need to do today. So I had another new start, which is Lizzie Kate's sampling Thanksgiving. So this one I did because it was part of the daily 30 homework for this week, which I have almost finished. I thought I'd get them knocked over this weekend, and I almost got them knocked over yesterday, but I'll tell you more about that when I get there. So this one was because you had a bonus point if you had something with a gourd, and that little funny pumpkin-y looking thing there is in the shape of a gourd rather than a pumpkin, so I am saying it's a gourd. And I managed to do, on my start of that, 400 stitches, and he's looking like that. Very cute. So that's where he's up to. And the last new start I had, getting them all started before the 22 and 21 new starts, is Gingerbread Stitching House. I have had this in my stash for years and I've been too scared to start it. It is beautiful. Look, it turns into a scissor face pincushion, and I did this as part of the homework for this week as something that was domesticated, because I figured a house is domesticated plus being stitching. So I did some work on this, and I did, oh, I wrote that down, 499 stitches on one of the roof panels. Now I'm doing this a little bit differently in that I'm actually using a pearl 10 thread instead of using the silk mori that it asked for, because I don't see any reason. So I'm actually just doing it in a size 10 thread, which should make it look really good. I just realised I'm pulling it fairly tight, but oh well, I'll work on that. So that was all the new starts for this week. There are more in my plans. So what else did I stitch on? I worked on Cozy Cove, 149 stitches on Cozy Cove this week. It's looking a bit sad. I had accidentally, when I put the colours into the cards, stuffed up the two greys, so I had all that done in a dark grey. Oh, it's that way, I think. All that done in a dark grey, and I had to frog it all out, and now I'm restarting it with a lighter grey. So that was problem number 1 for the week. So yeah, so there's not the evidence there to show you, but mistakes happen. That one had to get frogged. I also did some work in honour of it being Halloween on Scary Halloween, and my Scary Halloween is now looking like that. So I finished off the bottom panel totally, and then I started on the border of the next one up, and I did that one because it had a pair of something. Okay, not in there, but up in the top one there's a pair of witches. So I did the work on that one. I also worked on my automation. And my automation I did 400 stitches on. So you can see there, I've got the little cute pumpkins, and that's because for Daily 30 I needed something that was crooked, and that fence is very crooked. So that's how my automation is. So again, you're not getting the before photos today because there's just too many different things. I did work on Bird in Hand, 300 stitches again, all in black on the quilt. And this is because there's someone on this that wears pants. So automation. It's not a lot of double dipping this week. There was a lot of different things. I did 411 stitches on my little house neighborhood. Starting to come together. I'm actually going to use this as one of my feature pieces for Shirl's Yearly next year so I can get it done. I don't expect it'll take me that long, then I can swap it out for something else, I'm hoping. So there you go. I worked all on that top house there because it had vines all the way around the border. Also worked, because of Halloween, on Spooky Hollow by Tiny Modernist, and I worked on it for just 217 stitches because, oh yeah, for Magical Stitches I was doing the work on this tree here. I had to do something to do with a teacup being in the dirt, and so I buried Minnie Mouse in the dirt. So I've got a long way to go on that, but it's not a, I mean it's a quick project, but it's not for me a quick project. It's so that I have something Halloween to keep working on for the next couple of years. A couple of Halloween pieces that will help me with that. Okay, there's more. Oh my goodness, it was a busy week. I did some work on my Anzac because I had to stitch on something that had a map. You can't see it yet, but there is a map of New Zealand and Australia. And I was working on this bottom part down here. So I did 315 stitches on my Anzac, and it doubled up with Magical Stitches on something to do with water. And I used Pluto for water, and I did that on him. The other one I did for Magical Stitches was my Farmhouse Christmas, and I'll show you the bit I was up to first, which is this one. We nearly got a finish. So very close to a finish, but didn't quite get there. 709 stitches I did, and I did that because it has a weather vane, which is down there, and then I also then worked on it because I cast the spell. There's how it's looking all together. It's not, as I said, I'm not going to keep it all together, but they're the ones I've done. I've got 2 to go, plus the last bit, the last one. So I actually cast the spell about something that gives you nightmares on, I think, Donald Duck. And I said that Donald Duck didn't like horses. And so I cast the spell on him, so I had to do extra stitches on that. When I last saw you, I then did some work, 301 stitches on the Angel, Lion and Lamb. It's another Haid. Probably should mind you, it looks like that. And that's where I'm up to, because it's got lots of blues. I'm waiting on some threads to come in so I can finish doing the diagonal stitching. I'm enjoying the diagonal, I'm enjoying the parking. So yeah, all these experiments, different ways to do things, and you just see what suits, and I like having a variety. One more. Wow, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 16 pieces this week, I think. 16 pieces. And I was a bad girl. I didn't actually add up how many stitches I did. Right, the last one is my Big Red Ship of Life. And I'm doing this because I need to stitch in green for Daily 30. And you can see this big green border here. and I've got heaps of stitches and it's great for the spell scrimmage, but I was only up to about here, so I had to get all this blue done, and there's actually a mistake in it, so I'm not going to tell you, and if you know, don't say anything, but if you don't know and you can pick the mistake, you can tell me in the comments below. I'm not frogging it, I'm leaving it. So I had to do the whole lot because I had to make sure I got to the right place here so that I can now whip up the side on the green today. So that's the first bit of plans I have today. I'll work on that for 400 stitches for daily 30 prompt about stitching in a dark green colour, and that will finish off my daily 30 prompts apart from my daily 30. And then I think I will also today just do my linen threads. I'm heading out to my local stitching meetup with the girls, so I need to take some things that are easy to stitch on. Don't tend to get a lot done while I'm there, we talk a lot. But it is a social event as well as a stitching event. So approximately, and it's only approximate because I haven't added them up, and I can't add them up because you're my calculator. So there's 6, 24, 2, I'm going to say 6,000 odd. I will have to add that up, but in the last week 6,000 stitches, and again a lot of that is thanks to the Crystal Academy spell scrimmage. I did 2,029 stitches yesterday, which would have been it's 50 crystals you've got to try and get. Every 100 stitches gets you, sorry, every 200 stitches gets you 50 crystals, and you've got 1,000 to try and get. But the other team are taking yours as you're taking theirs, and it swings backwards and forwards. And I tied up someone, so I had to untie someone too. So 500 stitches of that weren't to do with getting the actual crystals. All right, plans. Well, I have some exciting plans for November because I am getting ready for the 2021 No New Starts. And thank you to all the people that have joined us in that group. We're going to have a fantastic year. We've got lots of plans happening for that. I'm thinking about dragging the stitch alongs that we've been doing this year, and they weren't stitch alongs, they were start alongs. Realistically, who stitches along together? No one, except if you're doing one of the mystery ones that's monthly released. But if you start a project with a friend, you both do it for a day or two and then you don't do it for ages. So I think we should revisit some of them during the year. My plans for November then is to actually start everything else that I can that I want to before next year. So it's New Start November, and I will be focusing on getting everything done, and most of that will be done next weekend, which is the 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. So I'm planning to just do the 200 stitches as a new start on each project as I need to. The only thing that will alter that is if I can fit them into any prompts before that, I will use them for that. Otherwise, I will try and knock them over next weekend, and then after that we'll try and get the rest of them started. I still haven't got to my storage shed to find that beautiful piece that I wanted for my birthday, so we will get to that as soon as we can. So that's my plans for November, and then December I'm going to finish that stitch December. I think I have 10 projects I can get done if I focus on them in December. For the rest of November, I do also want to really focus on the scavenger hunt pieces that were for the daily 30, because I think I can probably knock off the next year if I focus on it this week. So they are what I'm going to be doing a fair bit of work on as well for this week. All right, one little bit of haul. Just a little bit, but it's beautiful. My silks of the month came through, and they are from the ever lovely Silks for You. Look at those luscious bright colours, aren't they just beautiful? It's like bubblegum ice cream. You can see that those three beautifully match the rainbow, and I know there's a blue that matches too, so they're going to make beautiful bright combination for something somewhere down the track. I know there's more stuff on its way to me this week, so we shall see how it goes. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me just a quick little snippet again. As I said, 16 pieces to whip through, but things to do, stitching to be done today, and I will look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Till then, happy stitching. Bye.